This game is a Fortnite-themed superheroes, disappointing characters and plot. Do not buy this game. Redundant gameplay, boring story, terrible acting, and overall just a really bad game. And with 65% more people agreeing with them, I knew I wanted to see how bad it is myself. So when I saw that Suicide Squad was coming out on PlayStation Plus, I knew it was finally time for me to get the platinum. I'm also going to give a small review on the game in the end of the video. I will be ranking this game by 3 components: story, side missions, and open world. Anyway, let's begin with the story. The game starts on what seems to be a destroyed metropolis. We get introduced to our 4 protagonists and all their unique movements and abilities. After I tried all of them, I had to choose one of the 4 characters to play through the entire story with, which of course, I had to choose the best character out of all of them, King Shark. And that concluded the tutorial, which gave me the first trophy.
Ooh, trial by fire.
Now that we picked our character, we can start the story, which starts 7 days prior to the tutorial. We meet this woman that looks like she has a bigger dick than me. Her name is Amanda Waller. She tells us that she planted bombs in our heads, and if we didn't follow her orders, she was gonna explode our heads to pieces. So like the good boys we are, we got on a train. When we successfully arrived to our location with no problems at all, we took a lift to the Justice League's museum. After exploring the museum a bit, we find a glass full of Justice League's most powerful weapons behind a non-bulletproof glass for some reason. Anyway, we broke it and stole all their shit. To be honest, they deserve it. Even a cracked up homeless man could break through their quote unquote security. And that got us our next trophy.
Ooh, cleaning out the closet.
After we went to the roof and we found that Metropolis was being invaded with aliens. After we took them out, we got captured by Green Lantern. He tells us that he's working for Brainiac and is helping him take over the world. Right before he was gonna take us to Brainiac, Flash interferes and fights Green Lantern while we watch and basically do nothing.
Damn, actually? Oh shit.
After the fight, we find the Flash got folded by Green Lantern. We try to get him to Waller, but then more of Brainiac's soldiers show up. So we find the nearest building we can break into so Flash doesn't get captured. But it turns out that the 1 in a million buildings we could have entered, we got in the same building as Batman. And not good Batman, bad Batman. He literally threw a batarang at a woman's neck and killed a man only using his hands. That's some next level shit right there. When we try to escape, he shuts all the doors and turns off all the lights. We do the very smart decision of splitting up, and he takes us all out one by one. But right before he was gonna kill Harley, Flash tackles him and then he took 10 straight punches to his face. Flash is really going through it in this game. Batman takes Flash to Brainiac, which ends this mission and popped our next trophy.
Hey boss, bad news.
Ooh, hitting the fan.
Man.
Survived the Batman experience. That shit was scary, bro. I loved it.
After we returned to the Justice League's museum, but this time we entered their super secret lair. How we entered, you may ask? Boomerang cut Flash's finger before Batman took him. Why? I don't know, but we're lucky he did. When we entered, we got jumped by Wonder Woman, but Amanda came to rescue us. Wonder Woman leaves and Amanda tells us our next objective, which is to kill the Justice League. But we can't kill the Justice League with our current bad stinky weapons. So we did what any normal person would do. We kidnapped a midget and made him work more hours than a sheen worker with no pay. And that gave us our next trophy.
Ooh, foul play. Recruit your first support squad member.
A bit later, we tracked down a guy that can remove the bombs in our heads. And we politely asked him to take them out so we can escape the city and not fight the strongest people in the world. Amanda shows up and demands that he gives her Lex Luthor's files. Apparently Lex Luthor has some files that could help us defeat the Justice League. But then Lex Luthor himself hacks the screens and blows up the poor guy's head and basically deletes all the files, which made Amanda have one of the biggest crash outs in history.
Walked in.
For our next mission, we track down the baddie, and she's a child. Even better, I'm kidding. But what I'm not kidding about is that we put her next to Penguin in the Sheen factory. She now enhances our weapons with effects like poison, thunder and everything beautiful in that nature, which also popped a trophy.
Dead blooms. Store your second support squad member. A bit after I unlocked a miscellaneous trophy by accident for completing combat flare challenges, which are basically small challenges that you have on the right side of your screen. Oh, the chosen one. Fully complete the combat flare checklist 5 times. On our next mission, we tried to track down Lex Luthor, but he captures us in some kind of non-moving device. But as soon as he was about to leave, Flash yanked him out of his suit and beat the living shit out of him. And Deadshot must be missing a few brain cells because he thought he could kill Flash with a sniper shot. Does he know this isn't Quicksilver? Anyway, Flash spawns in a cannon for some reason, and we destroy it, which gives us our next trophy. Boom! Blitzkrieg Bop! Destroy the Behemoth. After destroying the cannon, we rescued Lex Luthor from a container, but then Flash comes back. This time Lex had a device that when Flash tried to hit him, he got sent flying. Flash wasn't a big fan of that, so he took Lex Luthor's heart straight out of his chest. I know how it feels cause girls do this to me. Then he starts a huge tornado, but once again we got rescued, but this time it's from Wonder Woman. Now this for me is when the story starts declining, because on our next mission we headed back to base and suddenly a kid named Toyman that just knows how to build gadgets to kill the Justice League just comes knocking at the door. And obviously we added him to our Sheen roster. After he gave us devices like Lex Luthor so we can fight the Flash, and that we did. To say that this fight was super disappointing is an understatement. You basically dodge the only 2 moves he has, then you counter it. After doing that for 3 health bars, he just falls. Then Boomerang shoots him in the head, and that's the whole fight. But hey, at least we have 3 more boss fights, they can't be that bad, right? After killing the Flash, Green Lantern sends us to World 2. On this world, Brainiac won the war, and everybody died, except one person, Lex Luthor, but obviously not our Lex Luthor. We helped him escape World 2, so he can help us save our world. While doing the escort mission, I got another trophy for reaching level 10, as well as the next story trophy.
Oh, level up. Rescue Lex Luthor.
Next, Lex gave us another device which helps us kill Green Lantern, and to be honest, this was another terrible lazy boss, with only a few moves. But after killing him, we got another trophy.
Blackest Night, kill the Green Lantern.
But hey, at least this boss fight gives us the most exciting part of the game. King Shark picks up his ring and spawns in a huge shark to attack Brainiac's ship. Once we destroyed his shield, Amanda fires a nuke to destroy his ship and us with it. How dare she betray us, we trusted her. Oh, never mind, Superman grabbed it and took it with him to space. After getting backstabbed by water, we still had to go save her from aliens because we're still her good little dogs. While escorting her to base, we ran into Superman and Wonder Woman fighting. Wonder Woman finally grew a pair and finally stabbed Superman on the heart with kryptonite, which would normally kill him, but for some reason it didn't, and he ended up killing her instead. Next we're fighting Batman, and yes, this is Arkham Batman that has 4 different games with millions of fans worldwide, with me included. For the first stage, Batman gasses us with fear toxin, which makes us hallucinate, but we could lower the toxin by turning on different mixers. After we turned all of them on, we fought a giant Batman with only 3 different moves. After we defeated him, we got our next trophy.
Endgame, kill the world's greatest detective. Another shitty fight. Oh my goodness, who expected this from this game?
Now all that's left is the strongest creature, alien or whatever Superman is. Lex Luthor gives us some homemade kryptonite, and then we went straight to kill Superman. And you guessed it, it's a super lame boss fight with 2 or 3 moves max. Anyway, we killed him and got our next trophy.
Abandoned all hope. Kill the Man of Steel.
Next we're going for the big man himself, Brainiac. And imagine my disappointment when I realized that the whole Brainiac fight is the Flash fight all over again, with no different moves. He didn't even switch between the Justice League members. He just stayed as the Flash the whole fight. I don't know how this game even got published at this point. After we defeated him, Amanda shoves a needle up his forehead and kills him. Come to find out, there are 13 different Brainiacs from different worlds that you need to play the DLC to fight them. So even after I achieved 100% on this game, I still didn't even know the real ending, which I'm completely uninterested in at this point. Anyway, disappointments aside, I got the final story trophy. No one defeats Brainiac! After going through one of the most devastating stories in gaming history, I had to go through one of the biggest grinds ever. The grinding stage has 5 stages. Stage 1 is to complete all support squad missions, Stage 2 are the Riddler trophies, Stage 3 are the miscellaneous trophies, Stage 4 are the inclusion missions, and for the final stage you have to complete 100 squad missions. I am going to speedrun through these because most of these were the same mission over and over and over again. Anyway, let's get started with stage 1, which are the side missions. These are super tedious and boring. Like I said, the same thing over and over again. But I did have fun with the Gizmo missions because I blew shit up. Next are the Riddler trophies. These weren't super bad to get, only took me like 2 or 3 hours, which gave me all these trophies. Okay, here we go. Last collectible of Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I just wanna hang. Stage 3 is the easiest and fastest stage. All I had to do was upgrade some guns and visit the Batman experience. Now for stage 4. When I tell you this was one of, if not the most tedious and boring things I had to do for a platinum, I had to complete the same 4 missions over 20 times so I can unlock level mission 20. To put it in perspective, I watched over 40 YouTube videos, I also watched 4 movies, and I gooned to LeBron 617 times. Take that as you will. That took me so long. While doing these missions, I also unlocked Bane Infamy armor, which are also required for the trophies. Now for the final stage, support contract missions. After completing all of these stages, I still had over 70 contracts to do, which are pure pain. This took me about 7 to 10 hours. But finally, after going through what felt like actual hell, I got the Suicide Squad Platinum Trophy. Now for the small review of this game. Honestly, if you played the story without doing the 100%, you still would have hated this game. You might have gotten your hopes up in the beginning of the story because I was actually enjoying the plot this game had to offer. But then it completely declines in the middle of it. It felt like they had a closing deadline to finish the story. It felt super rushed. But I think this game wouldn't have gotten this amount of hate if they didn't include Arkham Batman in this mess they made. They killed him very stupidly and no one liked it, and it didn't help that this was Kevin Conroy's last time as Batman. But in conclusion, I would rather drag my balls to glass and needles than platinum this game again.
Is that dick good? Yes, kid. How good is that dick? Oh, how good?